I never thought she would be like this. I whisper those words into an empty room, knowing well that she cannot hear me, yet unable to silence the storm inside my chest. I never imagined her silence could wound me this deeply. I always believed that if one day the world stood against me, she would still stand beside me, quiet, trembling maybe, but mine. But now, she is nowhere near me. Her absence presses against my ribs like a blade, and I can feel the bruise of it every time I breathe. I never thought she would distance herself, not from me, not after everything. And yet here I am, talking to shadows, hoping they will answer me with the softness she once carried in her eyes. The palace feels larger without her, colder. I walk through the halls, pretending I do not search for her, pretending I do not look at every doorway expecting her to appear in the silence. But the truth is, I do. I search for her like a man searches for water in a desert he swore he could cross. I didn't think she would turn away from me, from us, the moment the world began to whisper. I thought she knew my heart well enough to understand that I would burn kingdoms for her if I had to. Maybe that's what scared her. Maybe she finally realized how far I was willing to go. Maybe she never wanted a love this fierce, this consuming, this dangerous. I find myself replaying our last conversation over and over again like a curse on repeat. She wasn't cruel. She didn't shout. She didn't even blame me. Her voice was soft, almost too soft, like she was afraid to break me. And somehow that hurt more than anger ever could. She said she needed time. She said the world around us was too loud, too brutal. She said she feared what I might lose because of her, but she didn't understand. I had already lost everything that mattered long before she walked away. And what remains now is only a man whose heart still reaches for her even when she is miles away. I stand before the window every night, staring at the city lights, wondering if she looks at the same sky and thinks about me, wondering if her thoughts tremble the way mine do. I never imagined she would retreat into silence, herself, who once filled every room with her warmth. It amazes me how one person can change your entire world and how their absence can destroy it just as easily. I never thought she would be like this, but maybe I never knew the weight she carried behind her smiles. Maybe I never noticed the battles she fought quietly while I fought loudly. And now she has stepped away, perhaps to protect me, perhaps to protect herself. And I hate that I cannot reach her. Every day my advisors talk as if nothing has shifted, as if the world is still steady beneath my feet. They speak of alliances, duties, responsibilities, empty words that scrape against my ears. They don't know that I am drifting through each hour like a ghost, haunted by every memory she left behind. I respond to them with the calm of a prince, but inside I am a man unraveling thread by thread. I never thought she would pull away right when I needed her most. But maybe that is my punishment, loving someone so deeply that even their silence becomes a weapon against me. I wonder if she realizes how badly I want to chase her, how every instinct inside me screams to cross that distance between us, to find her, hold her face in my hands, and demand to know why she shut me out. But I can't, not yet. Because love is not a cage, and I refuse to drag her back by force. She deserves softness, she deserves safety, and right now she sees neither in me. So I stay here, in this palace that suddenly feels like a stranger's home, whispering words she will never hear, hoping the wind might carry them to her somehow, if she ever returns, if fate ever brings her steps back toward me. I will tell her that I never wanted perfection. I only wanted her, even broken, even scared, even unsure. I never thought she would be like this, but no matter how far she runs, she must know this truth. My heart has not taken a single breath without her since the day she walked away. Every time I close my eyes, I see the way she looked at me the last time we met, like she was holding back 1,000 words, like there was a storm in her that she didn't want me to see. That look haunts me more than her absence. It makes me question everything, my choices, my strength, the weight of my crown. I replay each moment, wondering if I pushed too hard, loved too intensely, or simply failed to understand the fear she was carrying inside her. I never expected that loving me would become a burden she felt she had to run from. And yet that is exactly where we stand now, she on one side of the silence, me on the other, both drowning in the distance neither of us knows how to cross. Sometimes I catch myself reaching out to the empty space beside me, forgetting that she is no longer here. It's foolish, I know, but love makes fools out of even the strongest men. My guards see me wandering the palace at hours when even the night sleeps, but they do not question me. They know better. They know I am searching for something I have already lost. They do not understand her importance, not truly. They think she is just another chapter in my life, but she is the one story I never wanted to end. And now, with her gone, the palace echoes differently, harsher, colder, as if it knows something precious has slipped from between its walls. I keep imagining what she must be thinking right now. Is she scared, hurt, angry, or worse, indifferent? That is a fear I cannot bear. I can fight 1,000 enemies with a sword in my hand, but I cannot fight indifference. I cannot fight her silence. And the thought of her slowly learning to live without me tears through my chest like a blade. I want her to know that even if she hides from me, even if she shields herself from the chaos of my world, nothing will stop my heart from reaching for her. But how do you tell this to someone who has already stepped out of your shadow? How do you make someone feel your heartbeat from miles away? There is a part of me, dark, desperate, that wants to break every rule and bring her back by force. I have the power. I have the authority. One command from me could change her entire life. But love is not supposed to feel like captivity, even if every instinct inside me wants to hold her so tightly that she can never leave again. I am fighting myself every day, struggling between the king I must be and the man I am when it comes to her. The man is selfish. The man is possessive. The man would tear down cities to get her back. But the king knows she deserves the freedom to choose me willingly. I wonder if she knows how deeply she has changed me. Before her, emotions were a luxury I could ignore, but she brought color to places in me that had only known darkness. She made me laugh when I didn't know laughter was still possible. She made me hope when hope felt like a distant dream. And now, with her absence, everything feels muted again. The world is still moving, people still bow when I walk past, but inside everything is suspended, waiting for her, aching for her, hoping for even the smallest sign that she hasn't given up on us completely. When the sun rises, I wear my crown and play my part. No one sees the cracks forming beneath the surface. No one knows that every decision I make is heavy because she is not beside me. I used to believe that power was my greatest strength, but now I realize it was her presence that steadied me, her voice that anchored me. Without her, I feel like a ship drifting without a compass. I don't know how long I can keep pretending that I am unaffected. I don't know how long I can continue ruling a life that feels half alive without her in it. And yet, even in this loneliness, I hold on to something fragile, something stubborn, the belief that she still feels me, still thinks of me, still carries me somewhere in the quiet corners of her heart. Maybe she left because she needed space, maybe because she feared the storm that follows me, but I pray that she hasn't severed the thread that ties us together. Because despite everything, despite the silence, the distance, and the uncertainty, I know one thing with absolute clarity. My story does not end unless she returns to write the rest of it with me. There are nights when I pace the length of my chambers, unable to sit still, unable to breathe without feeling the weight of her absence pressing against my ribs. I keep telling myself that this distance is temporary, that she needs time to understand the depth of my devotion, but the truth is far more brutal. Time is killing me. Every minute without her feels like something inside me is being chipped away. The palace is full of people, full of voices, full of life, yet I have never felt more alone. And the part that scares me the most is how easily her silence conquers me, how her absence has more power over me than the entire kingdom ever did. I try to imagine her day, what she might be doing, whether she smiles even once, and every time I picture her smiling without me, my chest tightens as if I'm being punished for something I didn't know I'd done. I know she deserves joy, deserves peace, but the selfish part of me cannot accept the idea of her finding it where I am not present. It's irrational, I know, but love rarely makes sense. Love is wild and disobedient. It refuses to be reasonable. And mine for her is the most unreasoning thing I have ever felt. Sometimes I stand at the balcony overlooking the kingdom and wonder if she is staring at the same sky. If she closes her eyes and hears my voice in the quiet wind, if her heart still recognizes mine despite the distance between us. I wonder if she regrets walking away or if she tells herself that she made the right decision. I wonder if she misses me even a little. These thoughts torture me, but they're also the only connection I have left to her. Because when the world sleeps and the palace fades into silence, all I have are my thoughts, and every one of them leads back to her. I wish she could see what she has done to me, how she has turned a prince, respected, feared, unshaken, into a man who wakes up searching for a presence that no longer exists beside him. I wish she understood the chaos she carries inside my heart. Her absence has become a shadow that follows me everywhere, a cold whisper reminding me of everything I can't hold. I would give anything, absolutely anything, to hear her voice again, even if it was angry, even if it trembled, even if it broke. Silence is the most painful answer she has ever given me. My mother asks why I look restless. My father questions my judgment. The advisors whisper that love has weakened me. But they don't understand. They couldn't. She is not just a name in my life. She is the meaning of it. She is the reason I learned tenderness, the reason I softened in places I didn't know were hardened. And now, without her, those places ache like open wounds. No amount of duty, politics, or royal responsibility can numb them. I catch myself revisiting memories like a starving man revisits crumbs left behind. Moments that once felt small now feel monumental. The way she looked at me when she thought I wasn't watching. The way her breath trembled when she was uncertain. The way her presence softened the worst parts of me. I replay those moments because they are all I have left. Because losing her once feels unbearable, and losing the memory of her feels like a second death. And yet, even as the world pulls us apart, a part of me refuses to surrender. There is a stubborn fire in my chest, a desperate belief that what we shared cannot vanish so easily. Maybe she is scared, maybe she is confused. Maybe she is trying to protect herself from a world she believes she cannot survive with me. But no matter the reason, my heart refuses to let go. Because loving her is the one truth I cannot unlearn, and until she returns, or until she tells me with her own voice that she has stopped loving me, I will wait for her, even if it means waiting in the darkness alone. There are moments when I sit on the edge of my bed, running my hand over the sheets as if I can still feel her warmth lingering there. It's foolish, I know, but my mind refuses to forget the smallest traces of her. She occupied my space so effortlessly. Her laughter, her silence, her presence, everything blended into this room, into this life, into me. Now the emptiness feels louder than any sound. I keep wishing that if I close my eyes long enough, I'll wake up to find her standing at the doorway, hesitating the way she always did before entering. But wishes are cruel, they give hope but never fulfillment. The palace staff avoids my eyes these days. They know something is wrong, even if they don't dare speak it aloud. The corridors have become short, suffocating tunnels rather than the grand halls they used to be. I hear whispers behind closed doors, servants speculating about my mood, about her disappearance, about the tension that hangs over the royal household like a storm cloud. I pretend not to hear them, but every word is a reminder of how deeply her absence has seeped into the very foundation of this place. She left a void no one can ignore. I've become someone I barely recognize. Someone quieter, someone slower in decisions, someone who no longer sees the world with clarity. She took that clarity with her, took it when she walked away from me, from us. There are days when anger burns in me, unpredictable and sharp. I'm angry that she left without fighting, angry that she didn't trust me enough to stay, angry that she thinks walking away will protect either of us from the consequences of loving each other. But underneath the anger is a deeper, more unsettling truth. I'm terrified that she might never come back. Sometimes I wonder if she thinks I've moved on, if she believes that I've resumed my duties with ease, continuing my role as if she never existed. I want to scream at the very thought of it, because she changed everything for me. She shifted the ground beneath my feet, made me question what I truly wanted in life. Before her, the crown was everything. Now the crown feels like a chain, and she is the freedom I can't reach. If she thinks I can simply forget her, then she never truly understood how deeply I loved her. Nights are the worst nights, turn me into someone vulnerable, someone stripped of every royal mask. In the quiet darkness, my mind replays her soft breaths, the way she tucked her hair behind her ear, the way she would flinch when overwhelmed. I remember the softness of her touch and the fear she carried in her heart. I remember wanting nothing more than to protect her from every shadow, even the shadows inside myself. Now those memories feel like ghosts, too real to ignore, too distant to hold. I wonder constantly if she is safe. The world outside our palace is harsh, unforgiving, especially to someone like her, someone too gentle for the cruelty that surrounds power. I imagine her alone, navigating streets she doesn't know, hiding her fear behind a brave face. The thought twists something inside me so violently that it becomes hard to breathe. I want to go after her, to bring her back at any cost. But I promised myself I wouldn't force her, not unless she was in danger. And so I wait. Patience has become a punishment I never asked for. And through it all, no matter how deep the loneliness cuts, no matter how heavy the silence becomes, I hold on to the smallest hope that she still feels me, that somewhere, even for a moment, her heart stumbles at the memory of me the way mine stumbles with every thought of her. Love like this doesn't vanish, it lingers, it bruises, it marks. And I pray that the mark I left on her is strong enough to guide her back before my world collapses under the weight of her absence.